Hey everybody, what's going on? Eric here. Hope everyone's doing well out there. So let's get back to doing what we do, I guess. This is going to be a little bit of a review of a few things I picked up for the other room. I really wouldn't call it a studio, but more of a change of scenery. Yeah, we'll go with that. So what you're looking at over here is a kit called Wire Free Mate. All right. It's a wireless system, transmitter and receiver. It's 2.4 gigahertz. It's got 33 hours of use time on a full charge, and it's waterproof, which is kind of nice. But there are some cons in this. So let's open her up and take a look at her. All right, so you get a fancy-dancy hard shell case. It's kind of like a harder rubberized plastic, which is kind of nice. At least you got something to store it in, right? Kind of good. There are two USB chargers because there's two units, transmitter and receiver. The only problem with this is that if you plug this into your computer's USB, because your computer's USB is anywhere between 3 to 5 volts, you're going to have a message come up on your computer saying that whatever device that I'm charging uses more than 5 volts. So if you get yourself one of these kind of like, these little dongles for charging up cell phones or whatnot, if you get one that has two inputs in it, that'll be great. Or you just get an attachment like this for extra USB, plug them both in, charge them up both at the same time. Works out really good. Also, you get in the package a couple of male and female peel and stick Velcro, and it's basically for the transmitter part of it, so it stays in place. Also, a couple of rubber bands, which basically are O-rings, okay? The transmitter has a slot on it, on both sides of it, and you can kind of like wrap this around, a pole or something like that to lock it in place so it doesn't move around on you. Makes it a little bit easier so it's not, just flopping in midair. You also get a audio cable, which is also a like a micro USB. Well, actually, it's the cell phone. I can't remember what letter it is. It's not the C, but it's a different one. Now, it also comes with the larger to plug into a headphone jack, or you have the adapter for the smaller for a headphone jack. So it comes with both sizes, which is kind of nice because a lot of stuff, sometimes it doesn't come with one, or if you get a set of headphones that has the 1/4 inch, but not, an adapter for it, which is kind of a pain in the ass. So here are the two units, which are kind of nice. The transmitter basically is pretty simple. It is about the size of maybe just a little bit more narrower than a Zippo lighter, but about as tall as one. Very, very simple to operate. One button control. You push the button, turns it on. You'll start to see the status blinking over here, which it's very dim. It's not very bright at all. And if you push it again, you'll see the status of the battery, and then that goes away. And then hold it down to power it off. You'll see that the status light that's blinking over here will stop blinking if it's off. Kind of a pain in the ass because you can't see it very well. It's kind of not very bright. And then the way that they have the smoked area where the light indicator is kind of blocks some of the brightness of it. Then you have the receiver portion of it, which again is very simple. Has a nice little wire, or not wire, but yeah, it is wire. Yeah, it's wire. A little loop thing that you could put on your belt or on your pocket or something like that to keep it in place. And again, you have a status light and a battery light. The only thing difference, or battery indicator, the only thing difference with this is you have a volume control on it as well, which is also your on and off. If by any reason these two are not paired with each other, very simple. Turn this unit on, switch this unit on, and switch it off and on again, and it's supposed to pair up automatically. Now, out of the box, these are supposed to be paired up at the factory. Now, it's kind of impressive. It works very well. I mean, there's no latency on it. It says very low latency, but I haven't noticed any of it. And even playing with the guitar, it's been pretty damn good. The con about it is that they add a I would say like a stereo enhancer. Okay. So even though, you're listening to whatever wirelessly and it's working the way it's supposed to, adding some type of effect to the signal as you're listening to it is not really good when you're doing recording, or you don't want to have any type of uh, anything enhancing the signal that you're listening to, because you're going to think that that's the way it's going to be put out when the final product is done after you're recording. And again, you're going to want to adjust frequencies in order to remove it, thinking that, okay, it's not the headphones, because you know it's the headphones that you're plugging into it, right? Okay. So it must be on the computer side or the software that you're using for playback, whatever. No, it's not. It's this unit right here. Now, I don't know if there is an adjustment inside here for that. I have not taken these guys apart, but I'm planning on it to see what's giving that enhancement as far as the stereo expander. I don't like it, but it works as it says it works, and it works pretty good. You're able to use this with a TV set, stereos, anything that has a low level output like a headphone jack does. The nice thing about it is it's adjustable. Now, if you put this in a line level out, say like a cassette player output on the back of a receiver, it's fixed. And even with the volume control turned all the way up, you're not going to get a lot of volume out of it. Headphone jacks work a lot better. It's a little bit more output, and it's adjustable. So yeah, that's one thing that I picked up that, it wasn't too bad. This is like $100 and some odd, all right? And for what it says it does do it. Unfortunately, it adds a little bit more to it. It's for your listening. So the stereo expander is not a good thing. Second thing I picked up was this mini keyboard and mouse, which is kind of nice. It's pretty small. I mean, very, very small. So I picked this thing up to go with the computer, the laptop that's inside the other room, figuring that I could take the mouse and the keyboard wherever I sit in that room. This thing has a very long distance as far as how far you can move it away from the computer. And this is the little dongle that you plug into USB that receives the information, or sends and receives information, whichever one. Mostly probably just receives from the keyboard and mouse itself, and it does work. All right, you have a very good distance between, I think it's like 35 feet. You can move away from the area where the computer is. That's part of the reason why I picked this up. And everything still functions the way it's supposed to function. Now, this does not have a light up keyboard on it. There's no real indicators besides the red light for the eye for the moving the mouse, and then there's an indicator light on the top here when it connects. Now, the problem with this is there are no Windows 7 drivers for this. The computer that my old laptop has got Windows 7 on it, and every time you turn on the computer, there's a problem with the driver for this thing. Now, there is no paperwork. Nothing came with this thing other than a box, a keyboard. Everything that you need to do is here. There is no website to go to find the driver for it, and Windows will not recognize a driver or find a driver for you. So every time you shut the computer, turn the computer on, you have to basically plug this back in, unplug it and plug it in order for this to work properly. Otherwise, once you turn your computer on, you'll move the mouse to, try to get your arrow to kind of do its thing and click here and click there or whatever. It does nothing. So this kind of was maybe a good purchase for Windows 10. And it says on the box that this thing is for Windows, Android, and Mac OS, but doesn't specify which one is. So it's probably a Windows 10 thing. Not much I could do. I'll hold on to it. It does work. It works fantastic. It has every option that a full-size keyboard would have, but can't really do too much with it if it's not going to work properly and be there when I need it. So let's get into the other room, and I can kind of show you a little bit of the things that I've done. Alright, so this is the laptop that I use for all of my editing and, just being online and everything else. This is the Dell Precision M6800. My UX2 is over there, line 6. And then I have my wireless mouse. I kind of like using the wireless mouse instead of the thumb pad or finger pad or the little nipple that's on the keyboard. Now, remember this screen because you're going to need to remember this screen later on. Alright, so here is the kid's computer. This is my old Dell Precision M6500, and I ended up getting a Logitech wireless keyboard and wireless mouse, which is not here right now. I've got my line 6 UX2 hooked up. I haven't gotten anything that's reliable as far as, well, anything that's good for sound quality, that is, for the wireless headphone setup, but I got the Nux wireless for the guitar. That's my server, and that's the monitor for the server, and the server is kind of like running headless to where it doesn't need a keyboard, doesn't need a mouse. So let's go in over to the playing room now, where the TV is at. Right now I'm sitting in the play area. So I've got my amp sitting here, shelving unit, keyboard, drums, my Ibanez's, and my Gibsons, the kick guitar that I built a long time ago, and I got the kids' guitars sitting on the floor over there, and I got my Paul Reed Smith right here. So this is my, I don't know if this is a 42-inch or 45-inch flat screen, and I have the computers set up from, the kids' computer is set up from VGA to HDMI. You need a special wire for that, and the wire also has a power, USB power that gets plugged behind the TV. So when I switch it over to TV on, it's able to activate the chips that are on the video card that's in the laptop, and I'm able to get an accurate screen that works basically just like if I was looking at the laptop screen. So this is Audacity right here. I don't have the one program that I like to use that's on my laptop. Between Windows 10 and Windows 7, it's kind of a pain in the ass because there's some things that don't work with Windows 7 that works on Windows 10. And one of the programs that I like to use is the Studio 1.5 for recording. Well, the other laptop that's over here, right over there, Windows 7, can't use it. So what I got going on over here, I got two mices, whatever you want to call them, right there, both Logitechs, and they're both wireless. So the kid's laptop is right there, and I got the mouse right here. So I'm able to close out and do everything that laptop does from over here in front of the TV. And what's nice about it too is if I go to Guitar Tools, I sit there and go to, say, any type of I don't know, tabs. I could zoom in on these and I can read them very clear from a little bit further back from where I'm sitting right now. So yeah, this is kind of nice having a setup like this. Now remember, I said to remember the screen on my laptop that's in the workshop. The reason why I said this is because here's my computer. Now with the other mouse, this one here, I'm able to control this computer here. So say I want to go to, I don't know, let's open up Audacity. And there's Audacity. Oh wait, Studio One, I mean, duh. So I can record wireless inside of the workshop on my UX2, recording with Studio One, and I have a Sennheiser wireless headphone setup coming that's non-Bluetooth. So I want to see how that works out. I also have another wireless transmitter and receiver that works off a radio, and I want to see how that works. So yeah, this is going to be a pretty decent setup. So this is my computer, and then if I go to source, change it to the other computer, this is the other computer. So I got both computers connected to HDMI. Now the laptop that's inside of this area here, that one right there, is VGA, so you need a special cable for that. That cable has to have power running to it because it needs to power up, I guess, the chips that are on the video card that are in that laptop. So there is a USB on the back of this plus the HDMI. VGA coming off of the laptop. My laptop has a NVIDIA video card inside of it that has HDMI. So that's a direct link from the workshop all the way into here with a straight HDMI input to the TV. So it works out pretty good. And I can sit back here and play guitar and do whatever I want to do as far as you know, whatever. Now the only bad thing is until I get the headsets, the wireless headsets, it's going to be this on the floor. But that's the only wire that I have. Now as far as the workshop goes, hopefully the wireless setup that I get works with the headphones that I got with no problems, no delay, or, you know, hopefully everything works out great. So this is what I got going on right now. This is the setup, this is the room, and yeah, not bad for just a little bit of straightening things out. Alright, so this is what I'm using here. It's the VGA to HDMI cable. Now you have your VGA on this side with a USB for the power, and you have a plug for your headphones or your audio out on a PC, and it'll feed the audio signal directly to the HDMI going into your TV set. And you know, some TVs don't have very good sound quality, so I don't even use that. So if this ends up failing on me anytime, I have a backup plan right here. So this is a 50-foot HDMI cable, and I have a 100-foot coming just in case I want to you know, kind of like do something different with it. 50-foot right now is for what I need, and it works out pretty good. But I have a spare one right here. And you want to buy good quality cables. You don't want to buy cheap cables for doing stuff like this. The cheaper cables may or may not fail on you at one point in time, but I always get the good cables because it kind of pays to spend the extra money to have better quality stuff. Now, you also want to look at your HDMI cables when you take them out of the box packages or whatever you got. They can come in because they are directional. All right, so like on this one here, this one is to the TV, and this side is from the source to the TV. So you want to look at it, and sometimes they'll have a tag like this, or it'll be printed someplace on the insulation or at the tip of the HDMI cable. Now, going with this is also this setup here. This is a VGA to HDMI little adapter. Now, you know, connect this to the VGA part. HDMI on this side comes with a audio cable, just like the system that I have on the computer right now, which I'm not using. And this also has a power USB that connects to this, so everything works without a hitch. So that's how I did this thing, how I wired everything up. The mouse kind of thing works out pretty good. I was getting a little bit of interference because both mice are the same brand name, and I think they are both 2.4 gigahertz, something like that. I think that's what they are too. That's why I was getting a little bit of a lag every time I moved to one when I was showing my laptop that I have here in the workshop. So that's it. Hope you guys like what's going on and enjoy the video. I will catch up with you guys later.